Alright, similar figures. Have the same shape, but not necessarily the same size. The ratio of corresponding sides is equal. This symbol right here, just a little squiggly line, means similar. So if this is ABC, and excuse me? I don't know, I was just wondering the same thing. A, B, C. I don't know. Alright, here's what you may see. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle FGH. And you got an 8, a 10, and a 12, 12, 15, 18, 12, 15, 18. If they're similar, then the ratio of corresponding sides is equal. Does everybody have this written down? Okay, so erase this 15 right here. You know what it is, right? But here's how similar triangles and the rules from proportions works. If you got the triangle on the left and you know that its sides are 8, 10, and 12, and you're given the triangle on the right, and you're asked to find, maybe you're asked to find segment FH. Okay? Segment FH equals blank. Well, what you can say, you can set up a proportion. You can say that the left side of this triangle, which is 8, over the left side of this triangle, which is 12, you can say that 8 over 12 is equal to, what would you make it equal to? 10 over what you're trying to find, right? We'll call it x. So equals 10 over x. Alright, and then if you crisscross multiply, you would get 8x equals 120. Divide by 8, and x equals, you already know what it equals, but let's make sure that's what it equals. 15. So that segment right there equals 15. So in your assignment today, you'll get some pictures and you'll be asked to find the missing side. Okay? And then in the second part of the assignment, you'll be given a word problem. And you'll be asked to set up this proportion and solve for a missing piece. Okay? If you had to solve for this 18 down here, say that that wasn't given either. Oh, that's not good when that happens. Come on back, baby. Gets real sensitive sometimes. Alright, let's say you don't know what that is. Okay? How would you set up a proportion to solve for y? The triangles are similar. Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead, Sarah. Alright, 8 over 12 again equals, very good, 12 over y. She did left side of the small over left side of the big equals bottom of the small over bottom of the big. And as long as you follow that pattern, small over big, left over left, bottom over bottom, you can crisscross multiply and you're going to get 8y equals 144. Divide each side by 8 and y equals 18. Okay? Turn the page. Look at page 144. Problem number 2. The sun's rays strike the building and the girl at the same angle, forming two similar triangles. How tall is the building? How are you going to set that ratio up? Who wants to volunteer? Brandon, go ahead. Here, watch. Let's draw a picture.
Yeah, picture's good.
Isn't this the building over here?
Yes.
Isn't this the girl?
Yeah. She needs hair.
So look, can't we say, can you say shadow over shadow equals height over height?
That makes sense.
Okay? It's just two similar triangles. Crisscross multiply. 3x equals 15 times 5 is 70. 15 times 5 is 75. Divide by 3 and x equals 25. So the building is 25 feet tall. Alright? And some of you guys will start looking at this and going, well, wait a minute. 3 times 5 is 15, and 5 times 5 is 25, and that's all I need to do. And that's okay too, right? If the shadow is 5 times bigger than the little shadow, then the building's going to be 5 times bigger than the height of the girl. Okay? Does that make sense?
So we're allowed to do that?
Yeah, you can do that, but you just have to understand how to do this, because sometimes the numbers aren't going to be obvious. You know, if this was 3 feet and this was 17.4. Okay. Look at the got it on page 145, up on the top.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
If that was 17.4, did I do 17.45 by 30 and whatever that is?
You're a genius. But watch what you're going to end up doing anyway. If you just, okay, let's say it's 17.4. No, I know, but watch. You're going to, if you set it up, you would do 3 over 17.4, right? Equals 5 over x. When you crisscross multiply, you're doing the same thing you just said you would do, but in different steps. You're still multiplying and dividing. You're just going to divide first and then multiply. Look at the next problem. They got it. 6 foot tall man standing next to a flagpole. The man's shadow is 3.5 feet. The flagpole shadow is 17 feet. What is the flagpole's height? Can anybody picture what the drawings are going to look like?
Sad. Why is he sad?
Because he's standing next to a flagpole. So here's his height, and here's his shadow. Here's the flagpole's height, and here's the flagpole's shadow. Okay? So the man is 6 foot tall. His shadow is 3.5 feet. The flagpole shadow is 17.5 feet. What is the flagpole's height? So these numbers aren't as clean, are they? So you could do 3.5 over 17.5 equals 6 over x. So you'd get 3.5x equals 105 divided by 3.5 x equals, what'd you get? 30. Okay. Now the shortcut's great, but if you don't show your work in the shortcut, and then you want to double check it later to make sure you did it right, I guess you could just do the shortcut again. So make sure you get the same answer again. Make sure you didn't push the wrong button, in your calculator. But that's it. All right, look at the next picture there. It's a little bit hard to see. Interpreting scale drawings. No, you don't. You love them. A scale drawing is a drawing that's similar to an actual size, but it's smaller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously you can't make a drawing of the whole state of Florida in life size. So you're going to shrink it down. It's called your scale factor. Okay? What is the actual distance from Jacksonville to Orlando? Use the ruler measure. Use the ruler to measure the distance from Jacksonville on the map below. All right, first find the scale. Bottom left says 1 inch equals 110 miles. You have to find your scale. So you set your scale equal to, please be quiet and listen. Now, this is not a good picture. How far is it from Jacksonville to Orlando? In inches.
1.5 inches.
I don't think that's 1.5 though. I think it's 1 1/4, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why it's such a bad drawing. They should have at least showed you where the 1.5 is, because your first instinct is to look at it and make it 1.5 inches. It's 1 1/4. So it's 1.25 inches, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over X miles. A quarter is 0.25, because a quarter of a dollar is 25 cents. Crisscross multiply. So your 1x is going to equal 110 times 1.25. 137.5 miles. Driving 65 miles an hour. How long will it take you to get there? Driving 65 miles an hour, how long will it take you to get there? This many.
2 hours.
Dan? 2.12 hours, right? 2.12 hours. Which is how many minutes? Perfect. Nice job. Where'd the 120 come from? That was the 2 hours, right? Where'd the... Now, that's 0.12 times 60 minutes, right? Because this said 0.12 hours. And there's 60 minutes in an hour. So 127 minutes. If you don't stop. That's if you don't stop. If you stop, it's going to take longer.
Or if you go faster than 65.
Yeah. But that said driving 65. Probably should have said averaging 65 miles per hour, right? Yeah. Then you could have stopped and still got there in 127 minutes. These are the things you need to know when you're planning trips. Page 147. One, two, 6 through 17. And again, y'all need to make it important to finish the whole assignment. I don't care if you got to get up early in the morning to finish the assignment. Finish the assignment before you get here. Oh, sorry about that.